everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Hey y'all, so I'm here to join in on the conversation of the girl Benta. Y'all know the girl who's talking about the girl stole her dresses and all of that and a whole bunch of other ish. But really, in reality, the girl Benta is very unprofessional. But let me get into detail. Okay, so I text the girl saying how I want her to make my dress with her for prom. And this is December 1st. She told me that I was her very first client. And yeah, so I sent how I wanted my dress to look. And yeah. So then we set up an appointment to when I could have my first fitting. But it wasn't really a fitting. It wasn't really a fitting. It was just like to see, like, for her to like size me up or whatever. And so yeah, this me scheduling that appointment. At the fitting, I had to pay like this down payment or whatever of $100. I guess to just secure my spot, whatever. That was non-refundable. So yeah, we paid that at the fitting. And here is my receipt for that. But at the first fitting, she told me like she was gonna find some fabric that fits my dress because the fabric that she already had, she felt like it wasn't good enough for the dress I wanted. So she was gonna find a fabric that fits my dress. Okay, so boom, then she found my fabric or whatever. This is January 28th. She found my fabric, and yes, we went to go with this fabric. Well, we went with this fabric. So then this is us talking about the fabric, how much it's gonna cost with the dress and everything. So yeah, she said the dress was gonna be $1,600 and the deposit was gonna be $800. I told her that I was gonna give it to her that following Monday, and she takes Zelle and all of that. So yeah. She also said the dude who sold her the fabric, he only had it he had a lot of people looking at it, so I had to hurry up and book. I had to hurry up and send $800 so I could have that fabric for my dress. So I told her I was going to send it to her Monday. Okay, so then this is me sending my $800 deposit January 30th. That was that Monday. She received the fabric February 17th. I'm finna hurry up because I don't got time. Okay.
Bro, is she drunk? Did she sound drunk in this video?
So after I seen the fabric or whatever in person in February, I then booked an appointment with her for another fitting for March 26th. I had my fitting today. It was good. Everything was good. Okay, so in my fitting in March, the dress wasn't fully put together. She still had like the front and the back. It was separated, but she said she had to do some hand sewing or whatever. Because it wasn't fully put together, she told me that I could book. She said she made my appointment for April 30th, and she said that was gonna be my last fitting, that my dress would have been finished by April 30th. So this is that confirmation. It's time for April 30th, and she cancels my appointment. I'm not really tripping. I thought she was good. She's so happy and so sweet at the appointments. I'm thinking I'm good. Okay, it's just a little incident. Not really tripping. So then after she canceled my appointment for April 30th, she made me another appointment on May 4th for May 12th. So then May 12th come in at 8 a.m., 8:38 a.m., she canceled my appointment for May 12th. And my appointment was set for 4 o'clock p.m. So I'm just like, oh my God. I'm getting a little worried at this point, but not too much, because I'm like, I'm still not thinking of it for real. The only reason I wasn't thinking of it for real is because at the appointments, the lady she was just so genuine, so sweet. And like, I didn't think none of it. Like, she played that role like she was just the sweetest person. I didn't think none of it. I thought I was going to have my dress. And remind y'all, my prom, I ain't tell y'all, but my prom was May 20th. So keep this in mind. So then she was like my mom and them had called her Monday after she canceled the appointment, whatever. And she was basically saying she got me confused with another India that she had booked with or whatever. But it was just like, that's so unprofessional, because if you got two Indias, just do something that's going to tell the difference between the two. Okay, y'all, so then she made me a fitting after they spoke. She made me a fitting for Thursday, May 18th. Mind y'all, my prom is May 20th. And Thursday comes, she rescheduled me. So then Thursday comes, she rescheduled it or whatever. And then she made me an appointment on Thursday for Friday, which is the day before prom. But then she canceled that. At this point, it's still Thursday. My people are getting like a little worried, upset, because it's like, what are you doing? You steady canceling my appointments. And I haven't had a fitting since March for real. So what are you doing? So then my cousin went up there. She went up there. She spoke respectfully to the lady. She said she just wanted to see the dress and the process of the dress. The lady started cussing my cousin out, like completely telling her get the F out of here and some more stuff. Just being disrespectful. My cousin said she's seen a whole bunch of dresses that was unfinished, that wasn't complete. I just feel like she took on too much. Like she took on more than what she could handle. And so then my mom and them started communicating with the lady because she was just like being weird, like cancel my, just read it. Like she was just being weird. And then look what she was just saying, like it's just giving unprofessional. But eventually I ended up talking to the lady or whatever, and she told me Thursday she was like she was going to be able to have my dress Friday. It was going to be done by Friday, so I'm okay. So at Friday, early in the morning at 4:38 a.m., she texted me this message saying how my dress, she was finishing it or whatever. She was finishing it, and I was going to be able to pick it up. Mind you, prom is the next day, May 20th. So after she sent that message, and it's time for me to pick up my dress, like later on in the day, she just stopped responding. She wasn't responding. She wasn't answering my calls or nothing. So then after she wasn't responding or whatever, she stopped responding the entire day before prom. I never received my dress. I never got a dress from this lady. And then I went on, someone was just telling me go on Instagram. I went on her Instagram. I'm watching her story, but she's posting everything. You're posting, but you can't respond to my messages about my dress. And then that's when I found out that she say that someone stole her dresses, all of her dresses and all of that. But my thing is, if this happened, why not communicate with your clients? You're paying your other clients like as if, it was just unprofessional. I had to find out I wasn't getting my dress through social media, literally. And then the day of prom, she sent the text out saying how she was, it wasn't her, it was her assistant. How she was in a hospital because she was in an altercation and she's fighting for her life, some other stuff. Well, y'all can read what the assistant said. So at this point, I don't care. I just want my money back from what I done paid already because I never received my dress. In that message, she said we would be refunded our money, but we weren't. She said she sent out another text message saying how we weren't going to be refunded because she don't know if it's a scam and some. Let me show y'all the messages. She sent this message to my mother saying how she don't know if it's a scam, how we're not going to be able to get a refund yet unless we contact her lawyer. So yeah, that was my terrible prom story with this lady. The lady was just very unprofessional. In the beginning, she didn't seem like that. She was a real sweetheart. But then I guess she just put on that role. And I was not expecting any of that to go down like that. And y'all, I was literally so hurt. Like, being done like that literally hurt my feelings because I was afraid I wasn't going to have a dress for prom. And I'm paying all this money. I'm giving you all this money to make my dress. I'm expecting you. Y'all, she literally told me, like, I got you. I'm going to have your dress done. You're going to be okay. Let me show y'all. Look. And y'all don't want to even know these stories. She told me that her dresses had got messed up by a person who she hired. They was intentionally messed up before. She was telling me a whole bunch of stories, y'all. And I've been seeing people say, like, why we ain't been saying that. The only reason I ain't saying them is because I want my money back. If I want getting that dress, I want finna come out and then, because she was already being petty from what I've been seeing. Talking about, oh, I'm not finna give people their dress. I was heard she was being petty on this social media. She was posting unnecessary stuff that didn't need to be posted. It was given unprofessional. So yeah, I'm gonna be quiet until I get my money back. But then after she said we ain't getting our money back, I'm finna talk. But yeah, y'all, if y'all still want to book with her, but book at your own risk. Because this all real. And all my receipts right there. But yeah.
What to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. Back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. So we're going to get into a couple of videos about this woman. Benta Segal dresses. And apparently somebody did go in there and steal their dresses because they wanted their dress because they paid for it and they didn't get it and prom was there. Okay.
Gotta talk, the Lord defends me. I watched them all fall for going against me. Cause me and all my
yeah, I'm gonna have to do more deep diving onto this because there's so many different stories onto this thing. Crazy situation. But anyway, they messing up hood prom season for everybody. Messing it up, dog. Scamming. But I'm gonna do this one because, like, The robbery has to do with this one, and the cousin has to do with, I don't know, like these two have to do with, or what? This one
Here is
and
the
this
full
one.
story.
These two
Here
have to
is
do
the
with
full.
it.
I don't gotta talk, the Lord
This one has
defends me.
something to do
Here
with
is
it.
the.
So I'm the
And
cousin
that
from
one.
this.
Like these is all in. This one has something to do with it.
Sam, do she got?
These all happened in 2023. So along with this one,
Hey y'all.
when she was like, they said that there was a robbery of the dresses. Her dress, like they're saying, the dresses were robbed at the same time her dress was robbed. Okay, so that's why nobody was allowed to come down there for whatever reason. And they saying that this lady's the one that did all the robberies for this dress. So yeah.
I'm about to make a story time about Benta. She is a dressmaker based out of Chicago, and she is scamming girls, paying thousands of dollars for these prom dresses. Okay, here's part one for this whole Benta situation. So my aunt booked Benta in 2025 for prom of the year 2026. So the group chat was created September 28th after my aunt made the deposit and she had her first consultation with Benta, which I'm going to insert here so y'all can see the exact date. So everything was pretty much fine up until April. My cousin goes on prom May 2nd. So April is her pickup month. And this is where things started going left. So my aunt was scheduled to pick up my cousin's dress April 9th, which I will insert again a screenshot of the messages between her and Benta. So at this point, the final payment has been paid. The dress hasn't been picked up. So I'm going to put the screenshot back up of where I ended off in part one of her telling my aunt that her dress is going to be ready for pickup April 9th. Now, as you can see in the screenshot, she has already rescheduled my aunt's pickup. It was supposed to be the week prior. So Benta then reschedules for April 22nd for the last fitting and the actual dress pickup because the dress was off the rack. It was too short. There was so many things wrong with the dress. Now, here we are. Here's a screenshot of April 21st. My aunt getting a text message at 10 o'clock at night of Benta canceling their appointment for the 22nd. Yet again. My aunt is basically telling her, like, we can't reschedule. Like, I have work. My daughter has work. She's still in school. Like, there's a lot going on. So, boom. My aunt just says, okay, cool. We figured out a time Friday that works. Let's reschedule for Friday. So now they're scheduled for Friday, April 24th. So Benta then sends them a message again. Here's the screenshot. Trying to cancel this Friday appointment. And as you can see by the messages, this lady is not even at home during this time that she didn't reschedule them for. So this screenshot is my aunt basically saying, I'm already downtown. I live basically an hour away from your home, aka the Trump Tower. She lives in the Trump Tower downtown Chicago. Yet again, they didn't leave with a dress. So here, my cousin is basically just telling Benta, like, I go on prom in 8 days. Like, I really just need you to work with me because I need my dress. So, like, basically, she letting her know, please send pictures and communicate because you're not communicating. So, the next day, now we're on April 25th. April 25th, checking for an update. Benta's ignoring them. April 26th, checking for an update. Benta finally decides she's going to respond and say, hey, you know, what's a good day that you could come? And at this point, they like, well, we'll take whatever is the soonest because at this point, my cousin goes on prom in 5 days. So my aunt's like, I'm available tomorrow, the next day, like immediately. Benta says, look at the messages. Look at these text messages. Benta says that's her off day. Like, girl, what do you mean this is your off day? Mind y'all, at this point, she has all her money. Like, she's had the money for weeks at this point. You have to pay your remaining balance before your pickup, which you guys seen from part 1. Her original pickup was April 9th. She's had her money. So, again, my aunt works with her and say, okay, we can come Tuesday, 6 p.m. Then she corrected herself, said, no, actually not Tuesday, Wednesday. As you could see it in the messages. She's April 26th. She's telling her, we can come Wednesday, the 29th at 6 p.m. Benton never replied that day, as you could see. Then Monday, again, no reply from Benta twice. So now at this point, my aunt is pretty much freaking out because she has to figure out a plan B because Benta is clearly playing in her face. So now we have to figure out what is going to be our plan B. Now my cousin goes on prom Saturday. Y'all remember that, May 2nd. Benta starts communicating again and schedules her to pick up her dress on Thursday. Thursday comes, Benta cancels the pickup. She cancels the freaking pickup. So now it's Friday, May 1st. Benta scheduled them to come May 1st at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Mind you, they live an hour away. So they are up and leaving the house at 4:30 in the morning to go downtown to the Trump Tower to try to pick up my cousin's prom dress. Benta does not respond to them until the evening time. So now they done went back home and did what they needed to do because there's other stuff to do to get this prom right. Everything is falling in place, but the main character is missing. The dang on dress. So boom, Benta says, come back tonight, 6 p.m. We'll get you the dress. Now at this point, they've made it upstairs. They've made it up into Benta's studio. Now she's putting the dress on. My cousin is in the dress. The dress still has flaws, by the way. There are still plenty of flaws in this dress. It's not right. So Benta says, oh my God, I'll make it right. I'll make these changes and I will drop the dress off to you in the morning. Because at this point, my aunt's like, I'm not coming back down here. I'm telling you that I'm not coming back down here. Rightfully so. She has the right to be angry, but she's keeping it all together because she wants to ensure that my cousin gets her dress. So they leave again, May 1st, without the dress. Because Benta has to make these fixes to the dress. And before they even left, she told them that she was going to get working on it in the morning because it was her bedtime at 8:30. It was her bedtime at 8:30. So finally, the day of prom, Benta texts my cousin in the morning, super early in the morning, and says a whole message about my aunt and why she will not communicate with my aunt anymore. And my aunt is disrespectful and my aunt did this and slammed the door and did this to her dog and a bunch of BS. Benta is literally making up a bunch of BS to then say that she's not going to drop off the dress and that we need to find somebody to go back downtown to pick up her dress. Stress level again through the roof because now we have to go get the dress when she said she was going to drop it off. My uncle gets in the car, goes downtown at 7 o'clock in the morning. We get down there. Benta says she's going to leave the dress with the security. Of course you are, because you're scared. Of course you are. My uncle goes in and he asked for the dress. At first they were acting like they didn't know what he was talking about. Then the security was like, oh, did you say from Benta? And then he ended up giving him the dress. Mind you, when my uncle got home, it was almost 11 a.m. the day of prom. She got her dress at 11 a.m. the day of prom. When she booked this lady September 2025 for her prom dress. So now that we got the dress, I just wanted to show y'all the imperfections and how she rushed this when she's been booked since last year. Now, as y'all can see, my girl T. But this dress has a lot of imperfections. You just can't tell right away. Here, we couldn't get the dress to lay flat because the fabric underneath the beading was not the same length as the beading. Now, as y'all can see, my girl T. But this dress has a lot of imperfections. You just can't tell right away. Here, we couldn't get the dress to lay flat because the fabric underneath the beading was not the same length as the beading like it was supposed to be. The dress doesn't lay flat. The fabric portions curl up. Like, here's another good picture of the bottom. The beading, she's just dragging beading. It's supposed to be fabric and beading. If you lift up the dress, it's nothing but beading. No fabric underneath that beading to hold it in place. And then you guys see the little details on her arms. One was hand sewn on there with my cousin in the dress, and it fit perfectly. The other one was not sewn on there with her in the dress, and by the end of the night, that fell off. So now we're going to get into the back of the dress, where she has this corset. Because at first, Benta didn't even want to put a corset back here. She originally wanted to put a zipper, which my aunt just was not going for. Because if I'm paying thousands of dollars and I tell you I want a corset, baby, that's what I want. If you take a look at the bottom of the corset, you see that the beading is a different color than the entire dress. And then in this picture, you can also see what I was talking about with the fabric not being sewn to the beading because the fabric was not long enough. But despite all of this, my cousin looked very beautiful. She had a dress on. It is not what they paid for, but she did have a dress on. I don't want to sit here and make it seem like I'm discrediting Benta's work because she can do the work. Clearly, if you look at her platforms where she posts her content, she can do the work. I have no idea what keeps happening, where she keeps having the same situation go on with multiple girls. Every prom season, there's women with stories. I don't know if she's overbooking herself or what she has going on, but it genuinely needs to be studied. And she is legitimately the nastiest, most negative business owner I've ever met in my life. Just look at some of the stuff that she's been putting on her social media platform where 90% of her customers find her. Is this professional to you guys? I don't understand what her thought process is. Now that this has happened to my family, we had to do deeper research on this lady because there was just no way that this situation was the only situation that's ever happened with her. Come to find out, just a couple of years ago, she was arrested for theft by women whose proms she was also ruining. She was also working under a different business name years ago, which is now how she is now Benta Segal instead of Benta Diallo. And if you don't know this, you just won't know that there was ever problems with this lady.
So thank y'all for watching, man. It's game time. So y'all enjoy the Thunder winning a second championship in a row. Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all have a wonderful night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.